This video is brought to you by Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist, my new book, which is a comprehensive guide to all aspects of music theory necessary for playing rock guitar. From blues to the cycle of fifths, from understanding and using modes to choosing the right notes for a melodic solo, from pentatonic scales to chord construction and keys. It's all covered in a clear and concise manner. With accompanying video demonstrations, jam tracks and tabs, you'll learn to use the knowledge you gain in accessible ways that make sense for less than the cost of a few guitar lessons. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today being Tuesday, we're doing a top 5 list, as is the custom in this parish. And if you were watching last week, you will have seen me talking about my fantasy guitars, my lottery win guitars, the guitars I would treat myself to if I was lucky enough to pick the right 6 numbers in the Euro Millions or whatever. So I thought just to kind of go in conjunction with that video and bring things back down to earth a little bit, I'll talk you through the 5 guitars that I'm really gassing for at the moment. For the most part, these are attainable guitars. They're in that sort of price bracket of, 4 out of the 5 are in that sort of price bracket of being below the magical 4-figure price tag threshold. One of them's a little bit over, well, quite a bit over, but we'll talk about that as we go on. But these are the 5 kind of relatively attainable guitars that are giving me serious case of gear acquisition syndrome. Let's have a look at what they are. Okay, so first up, we have this one, the Yamaha Revstar RS2 in hot Merlot finish. Viewers with longer memories may recall that I used to have a Yamaha Revstar, but mine was the RSE model, the one below this, and it was a lovely guitar. It was a very, very close run thing as to whether I ended up keeping it and getting rid of me Les Paul. Frankly, I think because I'd had the Les Paul a little bit longer and bonded with it just that little bit more, I think that's one of the main reasons I kept the Les Paul and got rid of my old Revstar. But I think if I'd had one of these before the Les Paul, I don't think I'd have possibly even bought the Les Paul, to be honest. As I say, mine was the model below this, and there's a few crucial differences, one of which is the fact that this has stainless steel frets, which is increasingly becoming a big selling point to me these days. We also have a few differences in the electronics. There's, you can see there's this push-pull focus switch. On mine, it was the, what was it called? It was called the dry switch, which it was basically a high pass filter, which kind of give you something of a single coil kind of sound. Not sure what this focus switch is. I think, isn't that like, that onboard boost, or is that on the model above this? Anyway, you can see there, jumbo stainless steel frets, and you also have 5-way switching on this as well, in the same way as you would get with like a Music Man or a PRS guitar. And the Revstar that I had impressed me greatly, and I said at the time that I'd like to check out one of the models higher up the range. Hello, that's my pop bottle just kind of flexing its muscles. Then talking about 5-way switching and being a bit like PRS, let's move on to the next one. The new PRS that everyone's talking about, this SE CE 24 standard satin in vintage cherry. They're out of stock everywhere pretty much. I think Toman has one in the absolute ugliest shade of green you can imagine. But if I'm going to get one of these, it's going to be in this cherry finish, because it looks a lot like my old PRS that I used to have, my S2 standard 24 satin. I love that guitar, but I had an injury to my hand, as you know, and had to adapt slightly how I play, and it was just never as comfortable. The neck on that guitar had the pattern regular neck, and these, I believe, have the wide thin neck, so hopefully that change would be, a little bit more accommodating to me. It wouldn't feel as cramped as the old one did. For 499 quid, it's a bolt-on neck guitar. Let's have a look at a few pictures. There you go, bolt-on neck like all PRS, CE series. I just think it's, a lovely looking thing, with one possible exception. I'm no big fan of the PRS birds. but they tend to be part of an overall package of things that make some PRSs look just the wrong. There's a fine line between opulent and vulgar, and I think some PRSs kind of stray the wrong side of that line, and the birds are part of it. Don't get me wrong, I would love this guitar even more. I'd love the idea of this guitar even more if it had dot inlays or perhaps moons, but that's kind of asking a bit of a tall order for this kind of price range. And when you're shopping at these kind of prices for a guitar, then you just have to accept that compromises would have to be made in some way. But yeah, definitely gassing for one of these. Well, let's see what's next on the list. An Eastman SB59. Let's have a look at it here. Now, this is probably the one on the list that I'm least likely to buy, because most of the others I can afford to just say, okay, well, it's going to kind of clean me out a little bit. Well, not clean me out, but it's going to be a bit of a stretch. But I could afford to buy the others on this list. This one I'd have to sell something, and the only thing I could really sell would be my Les Paul. So not sure. I would like to try one of these, because I've heard nothing, absolutely nothing but glowing reports about them. It is a gorgeous looking thing, isn't it? Absolutely nothing but fantastic reviews, and everybody who's played one says, "Oh, it's once you try it, you'll never kind of not want one." So yeah, if I could try one and think, is it worth kind of getting rid of my existing guitar of a similar nature, my Les Paul, then possibly. But it's just the curiosity factor. Everybody's saying what fantastic guitars they are, that I'm thinking I'd love to try one at least. So that's it's giving me some gas, this one. Let's put it that way. Let's see what's next. A Fender Player Telecaster twin humbucker 3-colour sunburst with a Power Ferro fretboard. I had a loan of one of these. It wasn't this particular finish. It had a maple fretboard, and it was anything I think called Tide Pool, the finish. I can't remember. It was about a year or so back. A mate of mine called David loaned me his, and I was so impressed with it that I offered to buy it off him, but he wasn't biting. Again, just a good-looking workhorse guitar, really. As I say, I remember being really impressed with it, and it's these Player Telecasters with these twin humbuckers. I have played another one since that one that I was loaned, way back, as I say, probably over a year ago, and that was just as nice as well. So I think probably, from my perspective, the best of the Fender Player Series guitars. Certainly my favourite, the one I would plump for if I was going to buy one of those. And I like Telecasters, and I like twin humbucker Telecasters even more. So that one's definitely on the wish list. Let's see what the last one is. An Epiphone Nancy Wilson Fanatic Nighthawk Fireburst Gloss Signature Electric Guitar. Doesn't that just trip off the tongue? I remember when the Nighthawks came out in the 1990s, everybody was saying that they were a bit of an ugly duckling. And I disagreed even then. I think there's a fine line between quirky and ugly, and I think this guitar just stays the right side of it. I can see why people would kind of recoil a little bit from it, because it does look a little bit like a badly drawn Les Paul, doesn't it? But I like it. There's the lady herself, Nancy Wilson, and I just think it's a gorgeous looking guitar. We've got that slanted pickup. I think these are Epiphone Pro Bookers, which are, I've had those in a couple of Epiphone Les Pauls, and they are, obviously not this slanted version. I've had those in a couple of Epiphone Les Pauls, and they're great pickups. Nothing wrong with them. You can swap them out. I think Seymour Duncan certainly do replacements of this kind of slanted pickup here, and then that's just plenty of companies do replacements for the little mini kind of Firebird style pickup that's in the neck there. I've always just liked the look of these guitars, and it's really smart, and I'd happily spend that kind of money on one. So there you go. Those are the 5 guitars that I'm gassing for at the moment. So what do you think of the list? As I say, those are the guitars that are giving me a serious case of gas at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of them, well, probably only one of them, is going to show up on the channel in an unboxing in the coming weeks. Let's see how things develop. But that is the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what your gas guitars are down in the comments below. And as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We talk music and guitars and have a beer, and it's a great way to kick off the weekend. And it'd be great to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.